How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we got ourselves some Pokemon rumors and news and stuff like that to talk about, so sit back, relax, and let's get started. First things first, going to be the fact that we do have a Pokemon home maintenance, which is going to be happening on the 12th, so in 2 days, on Wednesday it's going to be happening, which is interesting, because we're also at the halfway point, almost, of this month, because remember, guys, Pokemon Day is coming up. If you guys do not know Pokemon Day, if you don't know what it's referring to, well, basically, every single year on the 27th of February, which is the anniversary of Pokemon, is the day that the original first Pokemon games released in Japan. That's when they hold the Pokemon Day, which is basically a giant celebration, as well as, honestly, the day when they reveal a bunch of information. That's pretty much the biggest part of it, right, is they reveal a bunch of games. So it is pretty much the halfway point almost to this month that we've gone through. So we're getting closer and closer little by little. So we should be expecting an announcement to happen probably the week of, which the week of will be about, you got the entire of this week, then one more week, and then after that, the week of the 24th, the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, that week, we should be expecting the announcement for the Pokemon Day Presents. That's when we should be seeing the official reveal of gameplay for Legends EA, most likely guaranteed to be happening. So there's that, but the fact that Pokemon Home's getting an update is pretty standard. That happens around the time before something goes down, though there has been a few updates recently, so who knows. Also, they did add some new stuff into Home recently, so maybe it's related to that. But either way, moving on to the next thing, guys, is this right here. Apparently, GTA 6 publisher Take-Two, so if you guys have never played Grand Theft Auto, basically, apparently Take-Two, the people that are behind GTA, say that they plan to support the Nintendo Switch 2 going forward. They added that the Nintendo previously focused on younger gamers and now can support any audience. So this means we may potentially, cannot believe I'm about to say this, we may potentially get GTA 6 on the Switch. That's kind of wild. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of wild. They continued this post from Eurogamer saying, as you may have noticed, Civilization 7 is now on Switch. So while we have nothing specific to report, we actually fully expect to support Switch 2. So it is crazy, okay? It is a crazy time to be alive right now to imagine that we might be able to play GTA 6, which in itself is crazy, on the Switch 2. That's going to be wild, if it is true, if it does actually end up happening. So we'll see. Next up, in terms of actual news that are confirmed, we have information coming to us from Patent Scope, it's coming from Stealth 40K, but it's basically from a patent website, which they were able to figure out that there's some new patents from Nintendo, specifically for the Joy-Cons, potentially some sort of new Joy-Con holster, but not only that, also potentially some hints, you guys can see right here, more Nintendo patents that went public today showing off what looks to be the Joy-Con charging docks for Switch 2, but that's not all. Also, we have some details here coming out saying that apparently about the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, an optical sensor on both L and R, notification LED on both L and R, so left and right, Joy-Cons, HD rumble on both left and right Joy-Con, gyro slash accelerometer, oh my god, accelerometer, there we go, on both left and right, and then NFC on the right side, and then IR camera is apparently not on the thing, so there you go. But this is, again, just interesting stuff, because we did get a more or less confirmation, I think, in another one of these patent posts, I think right here it is. So the patent, basically, new patent published today by Nintendo, shows the Switch 2's Joy-Con mouse functionality. So you guys can see they basically made it function kind of like a mouse, which I don't know the usability of this, because I'll be real with you, I have a Lenovo Legion Go, right, which is this thing right here. Now, that's not what I'm supposed to be showing you. Right here, right? So I've got a Lenovo Legion Go. This thing is great. The thing, though, is they did this thing with this console where they basically make it so you can take off the controllers on it the same way you do with Switch controllers, but except it works a little bit more like the Switch 2 rather than the original Switch, but that's besides the point. Point is, if you take the controller off, you can use one of the controllers like an actual mouse, like literally functionally use it like a mouse. It is a little bit wonky, I'm not going to lie to you. It is a little bit confusing and not really the most intuitive. This looks a little bit more intuitive, I'm not going to lie, but I really don't know where the use case is going to be for this. Like, how this is going to work, I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But either way, we'll see how it works out. It also seems like the Pro Controller, which they haven't shown yet, will be also able to be split in half and also take advantage of the mouse functionality. That would be crazy. So this is what the Pro Controller, I guess, like a concept of it looks like, where it might be able to be split as well, which is going to be weird to begin with as well. But even this one seems to show some kind of functionality where it can literally use it like a mouse, which this grip looks kind of like it wouldn't be very comfortable to use it like a mouse functionality. I mean, we'll see. again, this is very much just bells and whistles, to be real with you, but we'll see if anything interesting does come from it down the line. But yeah, again, I'd love to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on it, you know, going forward. But either way, that was that. Let's move on to some general Pokemon rumors. Again, this stuff is from 4chan, these posts, in case you guys do not know. But let's take a look at what this one has to say. So, it starts out with the following, saying, I have information about a brand new Pokemon game being made by the Pokémon Works. Now, if you guys do not know, Pokemon Works, which really, when you say the name out loud, it kind of sounds a little bit weird. But like, Pokemon Works as a company, to put it in layman's terms, I'm just going to show you exactly what the deal is. So Pokemon Works is a company that was created by essentially like a combination of Ilka, which you guys know Ilka, the company that made Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and the Pokemon Company, which the Pokemon Company, by the way, is just a silhouette company that sort of exists to oversee Pokemon, but it doesn't necessarily, like, it's like the Pokemon Company itself is owned by Game Freak, Nintendo, and Creatures Inc. So those three companies own the Pokemon Company. The Pokemon Company just kind of exists as an umbrella company, sort of like just there to sort of cover day-to-day operations and whatever like stuff they need to do, so that's not individually being done by all the different stakeholders in the Pokemon brand, right? But basically, the Pokemon Company has gone into a sort of collaborative effort with Pokemon Works, which again, Pokemon Works is, as we know, you know, supposed to be some sort of new studio, right? It's like, that's what they're supposed to be working on. But basically, Pokemon Company and Ilka together made the Pokemon Works company, right? So, you guys may know that it was set up in March 4th of 2024. Pokemon Works was set up in 2024. It is a collaborative effort between the Pokemon Company and Ilka, and it's designed to maintain the mobile version of Pokemon Home, as well as prospective game development. The Pokemon Works has developed one Pokemon game in total, and that apparently is Pokemon Sleep, which, you know, a list of games developed by the Pokemon Works. Now, I don't know if, like where that information is from, that they made Pokemon Sleep, because I don't know if that was ever confirmed, but either way, though, we do know Pokemon Works does exist. We know it's an actual company. We know that they're working on stuff actively in the background. What those projects are, honest to God, we don't know, but we'll see, right? So, it says this following, though, which is, I have information about a brand new Pokemon game being made by the Pokemon Works. Right now, it has no name, but its code name is ARES, or ARES, you know, ARES, just a god, you know, like God of War, I think, right? ARES, like God of War. Either way, is he the God of War? Like, am I crazy? Maybe I'm waffling here. Maybe, you know what? Hold up. I need to know. Yeah, the God of War. Okay, good. For a second there, I thought I was going crazy. But yeah, either way. So, ARES God of War. Crazy name, but fair enough. It is a Switch 2 exclusive included in the Nintendo Switch Online. Really? A Switch 2 exclusive included in the Switch Online plus expansion pass subscription, scheduled for a release in spring 2027. Okay. This game's purpose is to make a hub for competitive users and save time for team building. It'll be the game where the official VGC tournaments take place. Think about this as a complement to mainline titles more than a self-sustainable game. Okay, so I can already say that we've talked about the possibility of a Pokemon battling game that sort of replaces the VGC, or like the competitive side of Pokemon games. We've talked about this for a long time, and people have been both yes and no on that, because basically what it would do is kind of replace the existence of something like Pokemon Showdown, right? It would kind of replace that, but also it would make it so that you don't need to buy the latest Pokemon game to have access to a competitive scene. But what this would also mean then is it potentially would remove, you know, the competitive part of actual Pokemon games, right? Like, would there still be a multiplayer, like combat battles, you know, stuff, whatever you want to call it, like Wi-Fi battles? Would that still be in Pokemon at that point? Which, fair enough, maybe you would, but there is a big thing I would compare this to. And I think the closest I would say to this is kind of like, think of the potential like game like this to exist alongside regular Pokemon games, kind of like how Call of Duty games release and how they sort of implement what the latest Call of Duty game like brings all into Call of Duty, what is it called again? I forget the name again. The Battle Royale mode, right? Call of Duty, like the Battle Royale. I literally forget what it's called. Like, my brain is just blanking right now. Let's see. Call of Duty, Warzone. There it is, right? So Warzone. So think about it like that. Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone is a separate game from the every yearly, you know, like Call of Duty releases. But the stuff that's in like the regular Call of Duty, right? The newest Call of Duty game. So for example, Call of Duty 6, I think came out this year or last year, sorry. So Call of Duty 6, they'll take features, weapons and stuff like that and shove that into Warzone, right? They'll shove it in there to sort of like keep that game's content flow going by using content from the recent game. So you can kind of imagine that basically they would take the current generation game, shove content of that game into whatever this thing is supposed to be called, Project ARES, right? Shove that stuff into it, and then every single time a new official Pokemon game comes out, they take stuff from that and shove it into that game, right? Like just brand new Pokemon, new features, stuff like that. I guess that kind of would make sense if they did it that way, and that would be the closest way I could imagine it. Now, they say apparently that, think about this as a complement to mainline titles more than a self-sustainable game. Yeah, kind of, again, like Warzone. I mean, it is its own game, but it kind of exists by proxy, off of the existence of the latest Call of Duties because they always add stuff from those. So yeah, they say though the most interesting add-ons are the team building improvements. You can fully customize every single Pokemon's battle information, stats, moves, etc. as long as you own it in a mainline game or Pokemon Home. Pokemon with multiple permanent forms like Urshifu and Florges are locked into their current form and cannot be changed. You will need to own every form you want to use. This also applies to shinies. So I guess it will kind of force you. You would not be able to just play this game mode. You would almost need to get Pokemon Home and also get like the latest Pokemon game to be able to comfortably use this feature or whatever this game is supposed to be. So fair enough. Anyway, mainline games compatible with ARES will include every Switch and Switch 2 game except for Let's Go. Fair enough. I get it. That's fine. I get it. The game will have social features, access to Switch 2's friend list to battle your friends, make friend groups used to also manage esports teams, and even hang out in the main plaza. The games will have paid cosmetic items for your players so you can show off to others. Don't see the point in it, but okay. Every gimmick will be available, including things like rotation or inverse battles. That'd be pretty neat, but not at the same time. The game will have multiple competitive formats that will cycle from time to time to spice things up. Sounds like a cool idea, actually. Expect animations to be the same ones you see in Gaia, with some new ones being made for the Pokemon and battle formats not present in that game. Animations are being made by Creatures Inc. and are not implemented yet. Okay. They plan on doing something with Victini for this game, both lore and distribution-wise. Lore is just meant for ambience. The game takes place on a Cyprus-based island called Limpia. This is the Japanese name, could be different in other languages. Okay, now I'm going to be real. This is actually a really cool rumor because I'm going to be real with you. We see so many rumors, and I'm probably going to read another one after this, that just kind of do the general shtick of like, Legends EA is going to be set in the future, blah, blah, blah. It's like always the same thing. This is interesting because this actually has like a genuine potential of being something, right? Like this actually carries some level of weight, in my opinion. Like it actually, it holds a little bit of, a little bit of that, little bit of pizzazz. You know what I mean? Like I actually think this could be a real thing. Not maybe that this rumor is real, like necessarily this exact post and that it's called Project ARES and it's going to work the way it's like being mentioned here. But I do think some sort of battle format type game is being made by Game Freak. And this is a potential thing that could happen. Like I genuinely think it is in the realm of possibility, if we want to put it like that, right? So again, we'll have to wait and see, okay? We'll simply have to wait and see. It is what it is. We'll see how it turns out. But I'm intrigued by this. I will say this. I'm intrigued by it. So we go on to the next post, which is this one right here. Now, this one is also from 4chan, but this one says the following. New Pokemon Legends EA information, and it says the following. Starter Pokemon, Trico with a city camo, Tepig with a fireman hat, and Sobble has a beret like an artist. Okay, cool. Which, are these regional forms then, or are they just wearing outfits? I don't get it. I don't get it, but okay. New Mega Evolutions. Mega Zygarde looks like a city on legs. Okay. Mega Zeraora like a punk rocker with electricity. Now, we do know that these two Pokemon are going to be getting new Megas unless they scrapped them. But we do know, based on the leaks from the actual, like, Game Freak leaker, who leaked a bunch of, like, credentials and inside files and all that kind of shit. So we do know that for a fact that it is, like, these two are going to be getting attention. Like, we know that for a fact. But moving on from there, they say gameplay can change time and alter the city. Strong Z move called Z Megaliths. Okay, yeah, no. We're not getting Z moves back. No freaking way. There's no way like, they literally showed Megas. They're not going to do Z moves when they literally confirm Megas. This is just not happening. Then they say new Pokemon, Trash-a-Lot. Capalot, really? Okay, sure. Evolves from Trubbish, like Big Trash Can. Glow Rat from Rattata, Shine in Dark. Story, after a big disaster in Lumio City, it's rebuilt with Pokemon. Player is an urban ranger, uses a new technology. More things, make home for Pokemon, they visit it. Paint walls with Pokemon, like art games. And then a secret place, Undercity, fight Mega Mewtwo Y. I mean, listen, I will say this. I read a lot of these rumors. This one is the most fun one I've read so far. Not more fun than the last one I just read a second ago, but it is more fun than most I've read because it actually does say some interesting shit or like some different stuff. I highly doubt, though, that we're going to get Z moves, so that's where I'm going to discount this one. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to get these again daily, make sure to subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.